10 countries struggling with immigration. United States, crisis at the southern border. What's going on? Record numbers of migrants, many from Venezuela, Haiti and Central America, cross into the US from Mexico. In 2024, border apprehensions hit over 2 million. Why it's like that? Violence, poverty, climate disasters and broken asylum systems push people north. US immigration laws are outdated, overwhelmed and politicized. What's next? With 2024 elections fueling division, the US may either reform its immigration laws or double down on restriction and chaos. The system can't hold like this much longer. Germany, the post-refugee wave struggle. What's going on? Germany accepted 1.2 million migrants since 2015, mostly from Syria, Iraq and Afghanistan. Mainly struggle integrate into society or labor market. Why it's like that? Initially goodwill faded as cultural differences, housing shortages and far-right fear-mongering grew. Recent arrivals from Ukraine added to the pressure. What's next? Integration success is possible but slow. If economic troubles deep or far-right groups gain more power, Germany could face growing polarization and street-level unrest. United Kingdom, aftershocks of Brexit. What's going on? Brexit promised border control, but legal migration hit record highs. At the same time, thousands cross the English Channel in small boats each year. Why it's like that? EU departure broke old agreements. The asylum system is under pressure. Political leaders scapegoat migrants while failing to create realistic paths forward. What's next? The controversial Rwanda deportation scheme may stall in courts. Meanwhile, public frustration is boiling. The UK faces a crisis of credibility on migration policy. Italy, Europe's front line. What's going on? Italy receives tens of thousands of boat migrants yearly, most from North and Sub-Saharan Africa. Lampedusa and Sicily are overwhelmed. Why it's like that? Politicians, instability in Libya, Tunisia and beyond leaves migrants with no safe alternatives. Italy accuses the EU of leaving it alone at court. What's next? Without EU-wide cooperation, Italy could either seal its ports or see a humanitarian disaster. Right-wing leaders are rising by stoking fear, not offering solutions. Greece, refugees in limbo. What's going on? Greek islands like Lesbos and Samos host thousands of asylum seekers in overcrowded camps. Many wait years for a decision. Why it's like that? Greece is a geographical choke point between Turkey and the EU. EU asylum rules, Dublin Agreement place the burden on first entry country. What's next? The camps could erupt again. Unless the EU reforms its asylum system, Greece may tighten borders further, risking human rights violations and more political tension. France, identity and integration clash. What's going on? France has a large immigrant communities, many from North Africa. Some live in neglected suburban areas facing systematic inequality. Why it's like that? Decades of colonial history, racial tensions and rigid secularism have created friction over religion, identity and belonging. What's next? France may see more riots like in 2023, unrest after a police killing as election loom. The far right pushes harsh immigration policies that could escalate tensions. Turkey, refugees and nationalism collide. What's going on? Turkey hosts more than 3.6 million Syrians. As its economy struggles, recent builds, Syrians face rising violence and forced returns. Why it's like that? Initially seen as guests, Syrians are now blamed for job shortages and inflation. Erdogan uses them as leverage in EU negotiations. What's next? Turkey may deport refugees or renegotiate EU funding deals. If economic conditions worsen, hostility towards migrants could explode into systematic persecution. South Africa. Xenophobia on the rise. What's going on? Migrants from Zimbabwe, Mozambique and Nigeria face regular xenophobic violence in South African cities and townships. Why it's like that? High unemployment, over 30%, and weak public services make foreigners easy scapegoats. The government's failure to address poverty fuels the anger. What's next? With elections coming and populist rhetoric growing, more unrest is likely. Anti-migrant policies may become law, worsening violence and destabilizing the region. India, the citizenship crisis. What's going on? In Assam, a citizenship verification drive excluded nearly 2 million people, mostly Bengali-speaking Muslims, from the National Register of Citizenship. Why it's like that? India's ruling BJP promotes Hindu nationalist policies. The NRC, combined with the controversial Citizenship Amendment Act, stokes fears of a religion purge. What's next? Legal limbo could render millions stateless, communal violence may rise, Bangladesh refugees to take people back, creating a major humanitarian and diplomatic issue. Australia, offshore and out of sight. What's going on? Australia intercepts migrants at the sea and detains them offshore in places like Nauru and Papua New Guinea. Many suffer years of abuse and mental trauma. Why it's like that? The government's Stop the Boat policy aims to deter illegal migration, but legal resettlement options are scarce and Pacific nations can't sustain the burden. What's next? Climate change will drive more Pacific Islanders to migrate. Australia will face increasing pressure to lead or isolate itself completely from the region. Thanks for watching, like and subscribe.